Hello and welcome to another episode of Food Tech 101. Now in today's session I'm going to make a milk alternative. Now we're all familiar with soy milk as an alternative. That's probably the most famous of the milk alternatives, and most people have tried soy milk, but today I'm going to show you how easy it is and how quick it is to make some other alternatives. So I'm going to take you through how to make, and it's basically the same principle for all of them. So once you've made one, you can pretty much experiment with loads of others. But today I'm going to show you how to make almond milk. I've got some hazelnuts, I've got some sunflower seeds, and we're even going to make some oat milk. Now if you go to the likes of Sainsbury's probably, then you could probably find these milks in there. But they usually are quite expensive because they're a little bit, not quite as popular, a little bit rarer, so that makes it a bit more expensive. But I'm going to show you just how easy and how cheap it is to actually make this thing yourself. And you can make each one in about 3 minutes. So I'm going to take you through how to make some simple milk alternatives. I'm going to put in 50 grams of almonds, about 300 mils of water. You can put a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on how thick you want it. Into that, because I like my milk a little bit sweet, I'm going to add about a dessert spoonful of brown sugar. Not enough to make it like a dessert, just enough to give it a touch of sweetness. I'm going to add a spoonful of oil. This helps with the consistency. Again, the oil and the sugar are optional. And what you do is you close it up and you give it a blast. Okay, so I've had it on, I've been blending it for about 2 minutes. Just going to open it up. Straight away you can smell the almond coming through. And if you look through into the top, it's nice and milky white. But if you can see around the edges, it's got all the brown bits, which is the husk of the nuts. And we're also going to have the bits that didn't fully blend. So what we're going to do now after this is we're going to strain it just so we're left with the milk alone. So to strain it, you can use either a sieve, or if you have some cheesecloth like I have here, some muslin, then you can strain it through that, and then the husk will go to one side and we're left with just the pure milk the other side. So let's do that now. But we could use this, it's still got protein in it. We could use it in our cereal, or you could probably use it to make something. Just the almond husk itself, quite dry now. And underneath, what we're left with is the pure milk. Hazelnuts. Next up, sunflower seeds. Water. Now the final milk we're going to do is an oat milk. Now because oats are a particularly starchy grain, I'm going to speculate that I'm going to need a bit more water. So because it's oats and because it soaks up a lot of water, I'm going to use twice as much water for the same amount of oats. So I've got 50 grams of oats, but I'm going to use 600 mils of water. And here we are with the finished 4 products. So we have almond milk, hazelnut milk, sunflower seed milk and oat milk. So what I'm going to do now is just taste each one and describe the difference between each one. The consistency, the taste, the flavour. The colour you might be able to see. This one is probably the most like milk in terms of its consistency and colour. It's quite pale, like a little bit of cream. This one has a hint of red in it. This is a hazelnut. This one is, how do I describe the colour? It's got a little bit of beige in it. A little bit more browns in it for the sunflower. And then the oat is kind of a creamy colour. And what you may have noticed, of all the ones, the almond one has held together in terms of its consistency, and so is the hazelnut. The 2 nut ones, the sunflower seed one, you can see it's starting to separate a little bit. I think the oils and the water are separating, so you have to keep shaking that one up. And the oat one, that's also separated, so that's another one. The sediment is heavier than the water. The sediment's going to be dropping to the bottom. That's one you're going to have to shake as well. So let's go, let's give it a little bit of a taste. So this is almond. Oh, that's nice. It's got a subtle flavour of almond coming through. The consistency is just like milk, so I guess you're going to have it in your cornflakes. So if you're used to milk, then this one is the one that has the consistency that tastes most like milk, but it also does have a distinct flavour of almond coming through. That's quite nice. A tip, if you want to intensify the nut flavour, then what you can also do, you can also slightly roast the nuts and then blend it, and that brings through more of the nutty flavour as well. Next one, we've got hazelnut. Again, another one. The consistency is very much the same as milk. Colour-wise, it's got some red undertones. Not quite sure if the camera's picking it up. Consistency, again, is about the same as the milk. Again, very similar to the almond milk. Lovely milk consistency. Flavour of hazelnuts comes through quite strong. The flavour of the hazel comes through a little bit stronger than the flavour of the almond. But again, if you like hazelnuts, you like the milk. Consistency-wise, just like milk. If you notice, there's no separation. It's completely smooth. Next, we've got our sunflower milk. Now, this milk is decidedly different. This one is much thicker. Well, not much thicker. This one's a bit thicker. It's maybe about the consistency of maybe a single cream. It's sort of got a bit more brown in it, and you have to stir it a little bit. Again, not my favourite milk, this one. It's got a sunflower seed taste coming through, which is quite distinct and is a bit of an acquired taste. A little bit of viscosity. It's quite, yeah, it's got the consistency of single cream. So if you wanted this kind of milk, you'd probably need to add a little bit more water to thin it down a little bit. But they've all, apart from the oats, they're all using the same amount of water. So all these three are both using 300 ml of water to 50 grams of seeds or nuts. And this one, for the same amount, is the thickest so far. Then we have the oat milk. Now with the oat milk, I did add more water because with it being oats, it's quite starchy. That does absorb water quite a bit. Like, in essence, the same thing we make porridge from. This one again, even though I've doubled the milk, it's got the consistency a little bit more like single cream. And also what you find, not quite sure if you can see it on camera, it's got that slightly gelatinous consistency, a bit like when you start to cook porridge. So it's a little bit thicker than normal milk. It's got a little bit of viscosity, a bit like when you've got a really fine porridge. You can see it like a little stretch at the end. Let's give it a taste. Consistency is not bad when you drink it. Got a little bit, not gooey, but a slightly gooey consistency to it. Taste-wise, again, very distinct oat flavour. So the good thing about these, in a sense, is that they do actually carry the flavours of the ingredients that they're from, which you kind of want something to do. And the one that to me seems the most like milk, if you were to take out the sugar element and had it plain, I reckon it would be the almond one that would be most like milk as by way of an alternative, although it does have a subtle almond flavour going through. So there we have it. 4 easy milk alternative, all with different properties, different levels of protein, different levels of essential fats and carbohydrates that are coming through, but all viable if you can't have or don't like or don't want to have dairy. And each of them can be easily made really in about 3 minutes. So each one of these, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, straight, boom, onto your cornflakes in the morning. There you go. So once again, thank you for joining me at Food Tech 101. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And don't forget, in the description of each one of our videos is a full recipe. Also, Food Tech 101 now has a Facebook page, so pop by and say hello. And we're also now on Instagram. Just type in Food Tech 101, pop by, follow, say hello to keep up to date on any new things that we do. Once again, my name is Mr. Lionbird, but you can call me Sir.